The gift, the Ace of Cups, the divine hand descending from the cloud. Tarot books will tell you abundance, the beginning of an emotional life, the start of something beautiful. But here's the thing about a cup that's already overflowing. It's full and it can't receive anything new. I'm not gonna tell you to open your heart. I'm gonna ask you what's already in it. Whether you chose to put it there or someone handed you a full cup without you ever asking. This isn't toxic positivity and spiritual bypassing. The suit of cups can be misread in tarot all the time, and I want to ruin it in the best way possible. In this image, there is no context to this offering. A gift with no giver is a setup for projection. Pouring your own meaning into something that was never about you. This cup is already overflowing before you even touch it. If you had an early life that was characterized by emotional intensity or chaos, a parent who was constantly in crisis, a household that's always at top volume, sometimes this cup isn't a gift, it's a familiar abundance. That chaos that you grew up in. Metaphorically, we can look at this as the Holy Grail, the sacred object at a center of a quest. And when you were raised in an emotionally intense environment, a household where everything was urgent and raw, your nervous system calibrated that as normal. Some people might call you sensitive, but sensitivity and dysregulation are not the same thing. Some of your emotional depth when you come from these chaotic environments is actually a survival adaptation. The ability to read the room at all times is a survival mechanism. It's an inherited intensity that performs as a spiritual sensitivity, and that's the shadow of this Ace of Cups. I want you to ask yourself, when the last time your cup felt full because you were filling it and not because of someone else's emotional intensity? A lot of us are handed this cup before we're ready for it. It's called parentification. You become an emotional container for your parent. You learn that your feelings matter less than managing someone else's emotional state. That's this cup being full, but not with your own water. And many people, disproportionately towards women and queer individuals, they build identities around being the one that's able to hold that space. An empath. This is an ace gift, but it's really a prison. Your emotional capacity becomes a service that you perform rather than something that you just live with. Back to that grail metaphor. It's something that was sought by knights, men with swords coming in and they're fighting for this thing. So don't be the grail, be the one that's searching for it. The ace is about your body and not just your feelings, because that water, that emotion, lives in your nervous system. It lives in your gut. And water takes the shape of its container. We take shape of what surrounds us, even when it's painful. So the shadow work aspect of this Ace of Cups means not just sitting with your darkness until you love it. Shadow work is becoming conscious of aspects of yourself that you've been unconscious of, even things that feel like gifts. Shadow work questions to ask yourself when the Ace of Cups pops up. What do I feel most often? Where did I learn to feel that? What feelings am I not allowed to have? And the final hardest question, what would happen if I stopped being the vessel that held everyone else's water? Emptying the cup is an act of refusal. Refusing that inherited emotional chaos. Refusing to be a vessel for feelings that were never yours. It's not selfish. It's a prerequisite for authentic love. You have feelings that came from inside you, and learning to recognize them is a difficult process, and it's a practice that you have to constantly come back to. Water that has to level after a storm. The ace is asking for surrender to your own emotional truth and your own emotional depth. This whole suit is a journey, and the ace is the beginning, the wound that's disguised as a gift. And before next Tuesday, I want you to sit with just one thing. I want you to notice whose water you're carrying. This is Alchemy of the Abused, and I'm Orion. New episodes drop every Tuesday, looking at tarot through a lens of dark psychology, shadow work, and questions that some readings are a little too polite to ask. Like and share, because the algorithm moves energy too. Subscribe, and I'll see you next Tuesday.